Hey there. Welcome to today's podcast. This episode is a little different. It's closing out the 2025 year of reflections on all the things that happened. I want to pause and just take a breath and just look back at what this season has taught me and maybe, just maybe, what it has taught you as well. So grab your smoothie or cup of tea and join the conversation. Let's go. Hey there. So here we are. I have my tea on hand with all this weird weather here. My voice is a little more raspy. So, I just want to share a few things that surfaced for me this year, just things that shaped this community, this podcast, and honestly, my own midlife journey. So, 2025 was very challenging. It was a very challenging year. And part of that had nothing to do with this year at all itself. But I can tell you, of course, I did have an injury. So that was something. Yes. And I'm still recovering. However, the real thing overflowed from 2024. And it was a season where I pulled myself in too many directions. Just because I thought that what I had to do to grow my business, I had to do all the things. I kept taking on roles and responsibilities that didn't actually align with where I was supposed to be. And it seems like I should have known this already because, you have your little ups and down seasons. But of course, this is midlife. Sometimes we have we have moments, if you know what I mean. But what I learned, and it took a while, is that alignment matters more than activity. Just having a clear anchor matters more than chasing every opportunity that shows up. And once you know your anchor, everything else gets a whole lot simpler. One thing midlife keeps teaching me is you can choose something different at any time you choose, no matter how old you are, no matter how many times you've changed your mind already. Now, people might label that as being flaky or indecisive, but just think about it like this. Would you rather stay stuck in something that doesn't fit or try again? Because sometimes it's that fifth or that sixth try, the one that you almost didn't make. And that could be the time that finally aligns with who you really are. Now, a lot of the pressure we feel comes from expectations we never agreed to. We have all these high expectations. Or there may be boxes we never fit anyway in the first place. Midlife has a way of showing you that you're more than your follower count. You're more than the likes. You're more than whatever people think you should be doing. People always got opinions. And as a lady once said, because you'll say, well, some say this and some say that. She always says, some say, always has something to say. So, a reminder that you set the pace. You decide your direction. And that's something I am going to carry with me into the next season. This was also a year where we closed out our 180-day challenge. Like, who do you want to be? Remember that? We just finished. My hope is that somewhere in these past 6 months that you learned something real about yourself. So if you are just joining in, you have a lot of catching up to do. There's about 6 months worth of content. You just kind of look back through the episodes. So it's like every week. So it's about 26 weeks. So you can look at the last 26 episodes or so. And whatever it was, hopefully you too, if you're just starting, will learn something, just one thing. So for those that have been here since the beginning, maybe it was something about your money habits that you learned, or how you use your time, or how slowing down with your meals helps your digestion, or whatever. Or maybe just simply realizing that one small shift can change the way your whole day feels. Just one little thing, that one stop, the one little stop method, where you can just stop and just like take notice and observe without judgment. And then just be present. And once you do that, then you can just get back from that change of mood for that 2 minutes, and then start back fresh with a new outlook for your day that could change the entire energy of your day, the rest of your day. You won't be looking back as, oh my gosh, I had a horrible day. But you'll say, hey, it almost got me, but I was able to reset and start again. As people, we can take in so much information, but if we don't apply it, it doesn't change anything. So my wish is that you take at least one thing from this year and let it make a difference. And I also want to say thank you. Thank you for downloading these episodes and sharing them and returning week after week. So as of today, the day that I am actually recording, well, maybe the day before, because I didn't check today. So it could have changed just by one, who knows? But within 2 days, we have reached about 132 countries/territories and counting. And it's amazing because we're going into year 6. And so I can remember when one country was represented. And I have to give a huge special shout out to the very first country that ever downloaded this show. It was in France. I don't know anyone in France. I've been to France when I was a teenager, but I don't know anyone. My assumption could be wrong, but my assumption is that it might be the same person who later appeared as the lone download country of another country or two. And it was long before the US. So I'll tell you, if you're interested in using a hosting platform for your own podcast, Buzzsprout is an excellent platform, and it doesn't show people, of course, but it does show countries. You're able to keep track of how, like, the impact you're having in different countries. And I was able to see France show up first, even before the US, which was like awesome. So I'm not sure that's the same person, just the way the downloads were at the time, because there was not many when I first started. But I want to say thank you. If it's that same person that still chimes in, they're in another location now, I think. But whoever you are, thank you for pressing play all those years ago. That was an encouragement to me that at least one person could download my episode. I was reaching somebody, I just wasn't talking to myself. We're almost at 6 years now, and I'm still grateful for that first listener. So thank you. And to everyone, all the listeners now, across the countries, time zones, cultures, seasons of life, thank you. Your presence here really matters to me. So this is the final episode of 2025. Yes, yes. I rarely take a break from this podcast. Rare. It's so rare. I probably could count on one hand the amount of times I actually, this may be the longest length because I may have like, oh, we're going to start the new year and we're going to take a week or so off or two. But this is a necessary pause as we close out year 5 and prepare for year 6. And yes, when this episode airs, it's my birthday. So when it drops on Wednesday, Wednesday the 10th is my birthday. So another year into midlife, and I'm embracing every bit of it. So we'll be back in early January, right at that 6th year anniversary of the show. So you'll start to see a few visual changes on this platform. Same colors, but they'll be used a little differently. The blues, the greens, the whites, and the soft black. But the look and feel will slowly shift into something more aligned and more grounded and more reflective of the direction we're stepping into. Now, I want to stay connected. So if you want to stay connected over this season, of course, if you want to see what I post on my personal page, it's on Instagram at Coach Keenie, Coach Keenie. I share the real behind the scenes and really the meat of what what I share is the behind the scenes of my email list. So if you want to see how things unfold and what we talk about, then the link will be in the show notes. I'll tell you that email list of people, some of the people, most of the early ones has been around for as long as I've had this podcast. So it's like family. So I hope that you'll join the email list and be part of this behind the scenes family that get to see all the things, the making, the creation of different things that I create to get this podcast going and other projects as well. So I hope to see you there. And if you do subscribe to the list, make sure that you hit reply and let me know where you are reading from. Okay? So I hope you enjoy your holiday or your unholiday. However you choose to move through this season, I want you to give yourself permission to slow down, to breathe, and to carry one simple intention with you into the new year. Until next time, nutrition is more than what you eat and the weight that you carry. Bye for now.